topic, Grease, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Yes, it was a low budget, $6 million, highest grossing movie, made 397,103,103. Why it was popular at that time? Critics are thinking best movie of 78. Not just adults like it, teenagers liked it at the theaters. Now, in today's society, there are modern movie fans still like this movie. Yes, I have seen it. It's really good classic. Now, I'm going to share fun facts about this movie before it came out at your local theaters or on TV. For Grease, producers initially eyed Henry Winkler, the Fonz. Yes, Henry Winkler was famous for Happy Days. He wanted to be Danny Zuko, but he declined, featuring typecasting. John Travolta was secured via a contract, while Carrie Fisher and Marie Osmond were considered for Sandy before Olivia Newton-John's screen test convinced them. I'm glad it's perfect casting of John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. If it was casted by someone else, it would have been a lot different movie. Now, for behind the scenes facts, origins, the movie is based on the 1971 stage musical Grease, which originally had a rougher and more explicit tone and a grittier Chicago setting than the polished film version. When it was getting adapted into a movie, Paramount Pictures and director Randall Kelser was thinking, you know what, let's make it more of a family and teenage movie to watch as a PG rating. I guess Randall K didn't want the movie to be R, he wanted to put it as a PG rating. If you watch the beginning of the film, there's an animated sequence. Who remembers that? Now, the next thing, John Travolta had already played a T-Bird Doty in a stage production and used that familiarity to push hard for Olivia Newton-John as Sandy, telling producers there was no one else for the role. Back in '78, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John were really close, not just on screen, maybe in real life too. Who agrees or disagree on that? Olivia Newton-John was reluctant to take the part because she was 28 and worried about playing a high schooler. The script was tweaked to make Sandy Australian, so her real accent would make sense, and extensive makeup and lighting tricks helped sell the illusion. If you didn't know this, you learned something new today. Behind the scenes relationships and tension. Yes, this is actually a true story. Jeff Conaway had prior history with the show. He had played Danny on stage, so stepping down to Kenki for the film was a point of pride and occasional frustration. Yes, half of the cast had frustration. Off-screen romances and flare-ups among the cast blurred lines with the on-screen chemistry contributing to a set atmosphere that several participants later described as fun but emotionally volatile. That's what it means. Some specific physical details were real. The hickeys on Rizzo's neck, for example, were reportedly applied by Conaway himself rather than by the makeup department, adding a layer and authenticity to their scenes. Yes, this is still a brilliant movie. If you haven't seen it for a while, you're welcome to rewatch it again. If you like musicals. Now, for the budget, studio expectations and legacy, Paramount initially treated Grease as a modest, almost secondary project compared with other films on the lot, which meant the creative team had less interference and more freedom than is typical for a studio musical. Back then, studio musicals were very popular. It can still be popular today, depending on what your tastes in movies you like. Producer Alan Carr pushed the production value beyond the original budgets, effectively inflating the cost to achieve the closely heightened look that defines the film style. Production crew wonderful job. I'm giving them credit. And despite the modest expectations and relatively lean shot, Grease became a monster hit, turning into one of the highest grossing movie musicals ever and cementing the film's song, choreography, and 50s through a 70s lens aesthetic and pop culture history. Yes, it was actually sold out at the theaters. No, I wasn't there back then, and I don't have a time machine. I just want to let everyone know that. I also want to share a theory really quick. I remember after Danny, John Travolta's character was fixing a car. So the car began to work. So Danny and Sandy was flying the car up in the sky. I was just thinking, hey, are they going to heaven or are they going to a new place? That's the theory. We don't know. Or maybe it was Sandy's imagination. That's all I want to share. Bye, Grease fans.